Hello, everybody, and welcome to FinTech Futures Sibos series for 2024. My name is Tyler Paith. I'm a reporter here at FinTech Futures, and today I'm very, very happy to be joined by Vera Planetova. Vera, how are you?
Hi, Tyler. Thank you so much. I'm great. Looking forward for our conversation.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, we've got a lot to speak about today. The topic of this interview is going to be focusing on money movement, both domestically and in a cross-border sense. And you're actually coming to us today from Visa Direct, is that right?
Yes, I'm
Fan-
leading a big function within Visa, which is focused actually on money movement, which is called Visa Direct.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, I've been watching what Visa has been doing throughout my career as a journalist, and it's very, very exciting. You've got a lot of really interesting developments on the immediate horizon as well as in the long-term pipeline. I think we can maybe start this interview by both agreeing that the world of payments, even within the last 5 years, has changed drastically, right? Both in terms of how people are using everyday payments, how they're transacting with businesses, with one another, to really wider and more complex examples in sort of like wholesale banking, central bank digital currencies. The whole industry has been completely transformed throughout these past 5 years. So maybe you can tell me, I think, from your standing in Visa Direct, how would you say the landscape has changed within the last few years, and what are the key differences between those cross-border payments that we might be making compared to the domestic alternative?
So, actually, you said the most important thing. Global money movement landscape is changing dramatically, and I would say this changes started a couple of years ago, maybe a little bit more, and it came from the experience and demand from businesses and from consumers in local markets. We are all, I think, here working globally and we live in different places. And we see how domestic infrastructure evolved. And actually, Visa also benefited to this domestic infrastructure success as well as cross border. But it's so easy right now to move money within certain market. It's just one button and you're done. But it never been the case for cross-border. So with Visa card, in most cases, you can move money domestically. You can purchase wherever you want to be, right? But it's still a little bit bumpy on the way when you want to move money from, I don't know, Singapore to Europe or from UAE to Pakistan. There are many players in this field, but the demand of very smooth and fast and instant UX are coming from domestic. So I'm sure that those companies who will take the opportunity to improve the space will be leading in 1 2 years the whole industry. And Visa is here to provide the rails. We are actually, as we used to be, network of networks for purchase, but also for money movement, for cards, for accounts, for wallets, and our mission to give everybody the rails on which different startups, fintechs, traditional banking can build already this great UX. And we talk now about many, many use cases. So I think the first on the surface is remittances, right? Because people are migrating across the world right now. They expect instant, in 2 seconds, experience to move money between their accounts to relatives, to friends. But also there are a lot happening on business side, on small and medium business side, marketplaces, for example. Let's take Amazon. So many people are providing and selling their goods on Amazon. They all want to have collections or local accounts in US or in other parts of the world and then move money back to their country. They don't want to think that it's very comprehensive process and how to do it. Merchant settlement, when merchants paying money to their sub providers or different agents. When we talk about people, it's a big market called earned wage access. When people are expecting to get money instantly, even maybe daily for their job done. So many use cases right now. Let's talk about tips. It's such a big topic in US, tips payouts. So it's also money movement. It's not purchase transaction. So we are all here. Visa is here to provide the right experience to the players who want to take this space. So the world is, of money movement is unlimited, and we just in the very beginning of this revolution.
What a really fascinating answer. Thank you so much, Vera, for that sharing that insight with us. I think in terms of when you talk about the evolution of payments, and especially in terms of tipping culture, you're in the US right now. That those sorts of advancements are really taking it forward in a consumer capacity. What do you think that are the key challenges then in Visa's rails facilitating payments for businesses versus maybe like more of a retail use case, and especially with emphasis on like making money move beyond borders? What are those challenges?
So first, we need to answer a question. Why domestic money movement is resolving much faster than cross-border, and why Visa being focused for so many years on purchase business, on merchants, on expanding the network to make payments easy, why we are now focusing on money movement cross-border. Despite previous year, it was not that successful between corresponding banking, and there were no fintechs playing in this space. And there is a reason to this. And definitely, we talk about demand. So now demand grew significantly. That's why everybody in this space, they're watching, they're seeing, they're trying to grab the client base and support people. But secondly, when we talk about cross-border money movement, we immediately touch local regulations because you move money between countries, and in each country's regulation is different, and demands from central bank and all types of use cases also very different. That's why we see Visa as the rails which provides secure and reliable service. It's so important, this word, secure and reliable, for all the players and for end consumers to make sure that they not only get money where they want, but also that it is AML compliant, that it is it passes through all security, gateways and everything happening within the regulatory framework. That's very, very difficult task. And not everybody can do it. It's a lot of investments. It's a lot of people effort, a lot of knowledge, you can imagine. That's the most difficult part of the business. Secondly, we are talking about instant payments. Instant. In most cases, we want to provide instant experience. And it means that we need to serve here not only for cards, which, yes, we do instant, but accounts. And we know the experience with accounts. Usually when you come to bank, you fill a lot of forms and then you wait many days. And maybe you asked a lot of questions. So our goal is to make sure that it's also happening very smooth, maybe not instant, but close to this. And you cannot imagine how many things happening in the back office. Technologies, regulatory efforts to resolve these issues, IT development, product solutioning, a lot of stuff happening. So again, not everybody can do it. The next big topic is cost of foreign exchange. Definitely everybody wants to have as cheap as possible in terms of the cost of transaction, but also foreign exchange. This is also our goal, to make it really not expensive for the final consumer. That's what we are working on. And last but not least, visibility. I'm sure when you move money, you want to see that it's happening and nothing is going wrong with the money during all the stages of moving between countries. So, and you want to get a notification that the money came to the destination, right? Or where they are on the way. It's also a technology. So that global international money movement business is very difficult to crack, and it is such a sophisticated field, much harder than domestic. That's why I think we are here. That's why I'm going to bed and wake up thinking how to make sure that we deliver all the corridors fast, and what partners we need to choose to make sure that we giving the same level of service, white glove service from Visa, reliability, security, but at the same time, it's very easy. For example, the biggest corridor in the world is actually US to Mexico. And it's still, this is the biggest corridor globally. And it's still cash. Still big percentage of it is cash, which is, you can imagine, the level of risks, the level of fraud, and all this stuff. So one of our goals is to make sure that we provide the reliable rails for all people living in US moving money to Mexico, secure, smooth, instant. And we are already partnering with a number of clients, a number of banks, a number of fintechs who are servicing and working in this space. And we expect that in 1-2 years, it will be much easier to move money digitally to this country, and we will reduce this pain. So many things happening, you cannot imagine. And I'm very happy that we have such conferences like Sibos, when we finally can meet everybody and share the experience and share our pains and jointly resolve it.
What a fascinating answer again, Vera. I really liked how you touched upon this sort of balancing act between making payments really fast and seamless and instantaneous, and there when consumers and businesses need them, right? But then also you've got all of these bad actors pouring in as sort of a byproduct of tech advancements, and so now you've got to keep them all out while still making sure that the service is guaranteed. So when you say, when you talk about the Visa's back office, and I would like to maybe move on to the restructuring of Visa Direct in a few more moments. But when you talk about the Visa's back office and how all these payments are processed and managed, I think was really, really interesting. Can we just talk maybe a little bit about some use cases that maybe you can share with us from what's happening on the ground at Visa Direct?
So in total, we calculated how many use cases we support, and this is 65 plus, and we have new adding very often, and this is always a challenge. We can continue adding new use cases, but the final goal is that we serve the biggest ones with the highest quality. So the biggest, definitely, and no doubt, this is remittances. And here, I think we already reached good scale. So globally, we can reach more than 8.5 billion endpoints. This is a big amount. And we have key players with us in this field. For example, I can give example of CIBC, of Western Union, of MoneyGram, and Remitly. I think you all know those names with which we're partnering and providing them the rails for this. Another big use case touches small and medium businesses. We need to remember that small medium businesses driving economy globally, and this is 70% of global actually business happening in the world. And what we called collections is the critical use case for them. As we discussed, the most common use case, marketplaces, where they trade and they want to collect money in the markets where where the trade happens, and then move money back to their country in stable currency and then convert it into the local currency. So this called collections, and we partner with many companies globally. We have a big business with collections in Asia Pacific, in Singapore, out of Singapore. We have a lot of clients working with collections in Europe, and we are expanding it right now to Latin America and to CEMEA, where market is also huge. Maybe, I don't know if you heard, but we built this business together with the company which we have acquired a number of years ago called Currency Cloud. And now this multi-currency wallet and collections options is available. Another big use case which we have, we serve under the product called B2B Connect. So when we talk about large corporations, they move big amounts. They used to work with global traditional banking institutions. So we asked ourselves a question, okay, we work with almost all banking institutions globally. They are Visa members. Can't we use the same network to make this service much easier for big corporations, to move money for big corporations? And it ended up with a product called B2B Connect. So now if you're mid company, large company, you can work with our agents globally and move money almost also instantly.
There's clearly a lot going on at Visa Direct and within the wider Visa company. In terms of recent developments, I've been covering quite a lot of them for here at FinTech Futures, especially in terms of your exploration of tokenization and instant payments as well, being the main topic of this conversation. I thought also the way you raised Currency Cloud was really interesting because that really sort of bolstered Visa's payment abilities and especially its abilities in a cross-border capacity. Can you tell us a little bit more about how maybe Visa Direct specifically, how Visa Direct has been restructured to make moving money faster and easier?
So Visa last year has been thinking what directions besides our core business we need to focus on because we see the demand from end consumers and from our clients. And we acquired a number of companies through the last 5 years. One of them is Currency Cloud, another one is Airsport, also in Europe, in UK, which provides account-to-account actually transfers and provides a network to connect. And also a company called Yellow Pepper in LAC, which also actually has alias solution and has amazing use case in Peru. So the idea was that we serve all these use cases. But finally, we realized that it's all about one single use case of money movement. And we should simplify also experience for our partners, banks, fintechs, how they connect to all the use cases we have, which is cards, accounts, wallets, B2B Connect, in different variations. And the answer was on the surface. We need to provide single umbrella. We need to integrate companies we acquired under one business of money movement, which we call Visa Direct. And we should not make the experience of connecting to us that complex. So today maybe client want to do only card-to-card money movement, but tomorrow they want to do account or wallets, which are growing very fast. So one umbrella, Visa Direct, which provides 8.5 billion connections and points, 4 cards, 4 accounts, 4 wallets. And in the end of the day, one single API through which our partners can connect and get access to this technology. Very simple and very complex at the back office.
Yes, I think that's a really interesting approach for Visa to take to sort of realize what its overarching mission is in terms of where it wants to be in the market and how it wants to facilitate the movement of money for customers and businesses alike. If I was a business, for example, could you tell me a little bit more about, when you have the single API and I connect into Visa, if I'm looking to maybe offer solutions, money management solutions, I'm looking to move money, why should I look to work with Visa?
So there are so many players at this space which work in the spaces of accounts, let's say, or work as our agents to make cards, money transfers, or the priority is wallets for some of fintechs. Our goal is not to compete with them. So we are not competing with banks, with fintechs, with any types of startups or merchants or marketplaces. We are the rails which they can use to get access to the, I would say, the widest majority of endpoints which Visa is offering. It is 8.5 billion endpoints, and this number is growing because we enabling new markets, new partners, new corridors, like permanently. This is our job. And when we talk about that number of endpoints, we definitely should say about number of markets, and this is 190 markets. With number of countries in the world, I think it's 205 or 10. We are almost there to cover all of them. We support 160 currencies across these 4 foundational money movement blocks. We provide capability to collect money, convert in another currency, hold and send. So the whole use case 360. We work with 15 card-based networks which exist in the world. And we connect to more than 70 already domestic payment schemes. All these RTP rails, which are so popular right now and growing like mushrooms after the rain. And RTP schemes, now we have majority, which is 10 plus, and it's again expanding. So I would say with whatever use case you come to us, we will be able to provide you the rails. We will be able to provide you, I think, one of the best from economics perspective solutions, and also reliability, security, and guarantee that your clients, your final end users will be happy. I think it's a lot, yeah.
But Vera Platonova, of Visa Direct. Thank you so much for joining FinTech Futures for this interview today. It's been a really fascinating conversation, and I could talk to you all day. But I realize now you're on a very busy schedule.
So much.
Thank you. Thank you for coming today, and I hope to speak to you again soon.
Thank you. Bye.
And bye. And thank you to everybody as well who has joined us online for this interview. I hope you enjoyed it just as much as I did. If you would like to find out more about Visa or what's going on at Sibos 2024 this year, then please head over to fintechfutures.com. My name's Tyler Page, and it's been a pleasure to lead this interview. Thank you.